बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अच्छा, तो आज हम डिस्कस करते हैं ड्यूटीज। इन आवर प्रीवियस लेक्चर वी हैड discussed rights, and in our today's lecture we are discussing duties. As we know that rights and duties are greatly interdependent, and to understand one we need to understand the other. So therefore, in continuation of our previous lecture, we are discussing about duties today. But before duties, I wish to shed light upon the concept of fundamental rights. पिछले लेक्चर में हमने राइट्स के बारे में बात की थी. We had defined rights. We had talked about different theories about rights. We had also talked about the importance or utility of human rights. And we had also classified or discussed particular rights or different categories of rights. So, in continuation to that lecture, here we shortly and briefly discuss about the concept of fundamental rights. तो fundamental rights का क्या मतलब है? Actually, fundamental rights are those basic rights of the individual which are regarded as fundamental to his very existence. Fundamental rights means a set of rights are those basic rights which are regarded as fundamental or necessary or inevitable for his or her very existence. Fundamental rights are those basic rights of an individual which are regarded as fundamental or absolutely necessary or inevitable for his or her very existence. These are called fundamental because these rights are incorporated in the written constitution of a country, are incorporated into the written constitution of a state as bill of rights. मतलब ये स्टेट की जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन होती है इसमें ये बिल ऑफ राइट्स की शक्ल में इनकॉर्पोरेट होते हैं. And these are actually guaranteed by the state to be protected. Not only against individuals, against other individuals, but also against state and government themselves. तो भाई ये हुआ the concept of fundamental rights. Again, I repeat it. Fundamental rights is the set of rights available to an individual which are regarded as fundamental or necessary for his or her very existence. These rights are incorporated into the written constitution of a state as Bill of Rights. These are actually guaranteed by the state to be protected not only against individuals but also against the state and government themselves. ये फंडामेंटल राइट्स की जो लिस्ट होती है, जो स्टेट के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में गारंटीड की जाती है, ये न तो सिर्फ दूसरे इंडिविजुअल्स के अगेंस्ट प्रोटेक्ट होंगे, बल्कि रियासत और हुकूमत के अगेंस्ट भी इसको प्रोटेक्शन और तहफ़्फ़ुज़ हासिल होगा। तो देन दीज आर कॉल्ड एज फंडामेंटल राइट्स, और ये इसलिए कि दीज आर नेसेसरी फॉर द एग्जिस्टेंस एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ इंडिविजुअल। अब इन फंडामेंटल राइट्स में क्या क्या आते हैं, तो जनरली जितनी भी इम्पोर्टेंट राइट्स है जो हमने अपने पहले लेक्चर में डिस्कस की थी, ऑलमोस्ट ऑल come within the ambit of fundamental rights, but we have to look at the constitution of a state that वो कौन कौन से राइट्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में एज बिल ऑफ राइट्स दी गई है जिसे फंडामेंटल राइट्स की हैसियत हासिल हुई है। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम पाकिस्तान की बात करें तो पाकिस्तान के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ 1973 के आर्टिकल 8 टू 28, आर्टिकल 8 से लेकर आर्टिकल 28 तक, दीज आर अबाउट द फंडामेंटल राइट्स। और यहाँ पर मुख्तलिफ राइट्स इंक्लूड की गई है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, राइट टू लाइफ, राइट टू लिबर्टी, right to equality, freedom from unlawful arrest and detention, freedom of movement, freedom of assembly, freedom of association, freedom of religion, right to occupation, job, profession or trade. Similarly, right to education, Article 25A में दिया गया है, right to protection and propagation of culture and religion. Similarly, language and literature, all these rights have been protected in the Constitution, and these are provided in the Article 8 to 28. Though there are certain subjections and restrictions upon these rights, and even in the time of emergency, war, etc., these can be suspended for a while as necessary. लेकिन ये फंडामेंटल राइट्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में दी गई है, और फंडामेंटल राइट्स की खूबी ये है कि ये अवेलेबल होंगे इंडिविजुअल को अगेंस्ट बोथ अदर इंडिविजुअल्स एंड स्टेट एज वेल एज गवर्नमेंट। तो इट वाज अबाउट द कंसेप्ट ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स। फंडामेंटल राइट्स की बुनियादी बात ये है कि the Constitution provides that the state and government or any organ of government shall not violate these rights, and if these are violated, a mechanism is provided for remedies to the individual. Like in the Constitution of Pakistan, it is clearly provided that legislature or executive shall not infringe these rights, and if these are infringed, the judiciary is empowered through writ jurisdiction in the Article 199, which is the writ jurisdiction of high courts, and Article 184 Section 3, which is the writ jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Through this provision, its protection has been ensured, and these are further justiciable through these courts. So this was about fundamental rights. Now we are moving towards, अच्छा अब हम आ रहे हैं towards duties। जिस तरह पहले हमने कहा था कि आज हम ड्यूटीज के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे, because rights and duties are greatly interdependent. These are correlative, reciprocal, and inextricably interlinked. So in order to understand one, we need to understand the other. Here we will talk that what do we actually mean by duty, and what are the different duties of individual towards other fellow individuals and towards state. अच्छा, ड्यूटी को हम डिफाइन किस तरह करेंगे? तो अ ड्यूटी इज एन obligation A duty is an obligation to do or not to do something for the sake of others. We can define duty is an obligation to do or not to do something for the sake of others. So in duty, there are either do's or do nots. So we have been obliged to do certain things which are our duties, and in the same way, we have been obliged not to do certain things for the sake of others. So these obligations are actually called our duties. अच्छा, और ये इसलिए कि as individual we live in society, and as we had discussed in rights that for the smooth relationship of both individual and social aspects of life, there must be a correlation between rights and duties. If an individual claim certain rights, he or she must have to obey certain duties. तो rights and duties बहुत ज़्यादा एक दूसरे पर डिपेंडेंट है, और as you might have heard that right implies duty. Right implies duty. Actually एक कहानी मशहूर है that there was a man who had his umbrella in his hand and he was moving his umbrella. तो जितना वो उसका हाथ लंबा हो सकता था वो अपनी अम्ब्रेला और छतरी को घुमा रहा था, लेकिन फिर उस छतरी से एक दूसरे आदमी की नाक को इंजरी हुई. तो the second person asked that why you are moving your umbrella. तो पहले आदमी ने कहा कि I have the right to move my umbrella because it is mine and I have the right. तो दूसरे आदमी ने कहा था कि your right to move your umbrella stops where my nose start. मतलब जहाँ तक आपकी राइट टू मूव योर अम्ब्रेला है वो तब तक है जहाँ तक मेरी नाक शुरू नहीं होती, और जब मेरी नाक शुरू हो जाती है तो योर राइट स्टॉप्स हियर. इट मीन्स दैट if we claim certain rights, we have to be careful of the rights of other people. So right implies duties. It means that it is okay that if one man claims a right, it implies duties on other to take care of the rights of that man. But in return, this man also has certain duties which he needs to fulfill in order to secure his rights. तो right implies duty, इससे इनका रिलेशन साफ जाहिर होता है. Secondly, rights and duties are correlative. This correlation is through functions. A right is claimed to do or enjoy something which is a socially useful or necessary function. जिस तरह हमने वहाँ पर डिस्कस किया था कि rights are necessary because these are for common good, तो यहाँ पर duties भी necessary है because these are necessary and useful function for the society as a whole. Similarly, for instance, every citizen has a right to education, but when he has acquired education or training, he must be ready to contribute his share to the social good for which he has educated or trained himself. This is his duty. State or society has given me my right so that I may contribute my share or fulfill my duty towards the common good. Otherwise, I have not right to enjoy my right. That is the reason why Lasky says, he that will not perform functions cannot enjoy rights any more than he who will not work ought to enjoy bread. तो यहाँ पर ये जाहिर हुआ कि if we claim for rights, we must be ready to perform our duties. अच्छा, अब हम आते हैं kinds of duties. Kinds of duties. Like rights, duties are also classified as moral and legal duties. A moral duty is one which an individual should perform on moral grounds. It is enjoined by conscience or social opinion. जिस तरह हमने राइट्स को पहले मॉरल और लीगल राइट्स में डिवाइड किया था, इसी तरह मॉरल ड्यूटीज और लीगल ड्यूटीज भी है. Moral duties are actually on the basis of morality or individual conscience. Our legal duties are actually enjoined by law. तो यहाँ पर हमारा कंसर्न लीगल ड्यूटीज है, और टू रिस्पेक्ट वंस. अच्छा, लीगल ड्यूटीज आर टू पे टैक्स. अच्छा, तो फिर ये मॉरल ड्यूटी, फॉर एग्जांपल, टू रिस्पेक्ट वंस एल्डर्स, वंस पेरेंट्स, to have kindness for the poor, for the oppressed, etc. And the legal duties include many things which are enjoined by law of the state, like to pay taxes, to be loyal, and to give vote as a duty, to cast vote as a duty. तो ये legal duties है. अच्छा, duties एक तो हमने in the context of rights discuss की that we have to do certain things or not to do certain things towards other individuals. ये हमने पहले डिस्कस किया. यहाँ पर हम ये डिस्कस कर रहे हैं मजीद के ड्यूटीज टुवर्ड्स स्टेट कौन कौन से है. As we know that constitution is actually a social contract. Constitution क्या है? Constitution is actually a social contract between citizens and government, or rulers and ruled. और ये constitution जब social contract है तो it enjoins upon both the parties. Both parties are rulers and ruled. It enjoins upon both the parties certain rights and duties. अब अगर स्टेट लोगों को राइट्स देती है और इनको इंश्योर और प्रोटेक्ट करने का मैकेनिज्म भी प्रोवाइड करता है, तो इन रिटर्न द सिटीजन्स हैव टू परफॉर्म सर्टेन एक्शंस एज ड्यूटीज टुवर्ड्स स्टेट. लोगों के राइट्स आर एक्चुअली ड्यूटीज ऑफ द स्टेट, और फिर लोगों की ड्यूटीज आर एक्चुअली राइट्स ऑफ द स्टेट. तो लोगों को कौन कौन सी ड्यूटीज परफॉर्म करने हैं? In certain states in their constitution, these duties are enlisted, while in others it is not so, but it is generally understood that the citizens have to perform certain actions as duties towards the state. These duties are: number one, obedience of law. Firstly, the citizens have to be obedient of law of the state. This is the most important duty. They have to obey the laws of the state. It is the hallmark of good citizenship. A good citizen obeys a law even if he believes it to be against the common good or oppressive or bad. So good citizenship का खासा ये होगा कि they will obey the laws of the state. Disobedience of laws is like a contagious disease. It spreads from citizen to citizen and from law to law. Actually, if the people disobey law of the state, it will cause anarchy in the state and society, and it will spread like contagious, and the whole edifice of the state will be damaged. So obedience of law is the first duty. The second duty is allegiance or loyalty. Allegiance means loyalty to state. The citizens have to be loyal towards the state. It is the supreme duty of the citizens to remain loyal to the state to which he belongs. Allegiance means wholehearted service to the state. The duty of allegiance implies the duty to defend the state against it. अब इस allegiance loyalty में क्या क्या आ जाता है? Service of the state and defense of the state. So these things are actually come in the ambit of allegiance or loyalty towards state. The third duty, which is important, is payment of taxes. No state can thrive, can get success if its people are not paying taxes. So payment of taxes is the primary duty of the citizens of a state. And it is necessary because to run the state we need government, and to run the government we need money, and this money comes in the form of taxes from the citizens, from the people, and if they are not dutiful in this regard, how the state and government can be run? Modern state is a public service state, and the state has to perform various functions from education to health, from health to job opportunities, and from that to other social welfare activities, giving protection and justice and other systems. So if the citizens are not fulfilling their duty of paying the taxes on time, and if they avoid taxes, then the state and government cannot be run in a proper way. Acha, and the fourth important duty of the citizens towards state is duty to vote. इस तरह हमने राइट्स में कहा था कि राइट टू वोट अगरचे एक पॉलिटिकल राइट है एंड द सिटीजंस एंजॉय इट, बट इट इज अ ड्यूटी आल्सो. Every democratic state has granted the right to vote to its citizens, but it is no less a duty than right. The form and functions of a government are determined by the votes of the people. To have a good government means that the people should cast their votes honestly, intelligently, and conscientiously in order to elect good representatives. Hence, voting is a duty. तो अच्छे representatives select करना, वोट के हक को सही तरह से इस्तेमाल करना, इस अमानत में खियानत न करना is the basic duty of citizens. और जब लोग ये फुलफिल करेंगे तो both citizens and state will progress. अच्छा, तो ये थी different kinds of duties. जनरली हमने duties क्या है ये डिस्कस किया, फिर duties towards other individuals, why these are important ये डिस्कस की, and in the last we discussed that what are the various duties of citizens towards the state. अच्छा, in the end we are discussing that duties of the state क्या है. पहले हमने ये बात कही कि actually to protect rights of the people is the duty of the state. अब अगर स्टेट अपनी ड्यूटी फुलफिल नहीं कर रही तो लोग क्या कर सकते हैं? तो here we have to differentiate between state and government. पॉलिटिकल साइंस की इब्तिदाई क्लासों में हमने स्टेट और गवर्नमेंट में क्या डिफरेंसेस है इसके बारे में हमने बात की थी, और एक वीडियो लेक्चर में भी हम ये डिस्कस करेंगे. लेकिन यहाँ हमारा मकसद ये है कि इफ़ द स्टेट डज नॉट फुलफिल इट्स ड्यूटीज़ तो लोग स्टेट के अगेंस्ट नहीं उठ सकती, बिकॉज स्टेट इज़ अ डिस्क्रीट थिंग. अगरचे द पीपल इवन कैन आस्क the very nature of the social contract and constitution and can demand changes in it. तो पूरा आईनी और रियासती ढांचा भी चैलेंज हो सकता है, लेकिन the people have to raise their voice against a government. तो इस केस में फिर लोग गवर्नमेंट के अगेंस्ट उठेंगे और गवर्नमेंट को कंपेल करेंगे that the government and state perform their duties and protect rights of the people.